What's up, boys? This week we got UFC Fight Night in Paris, Moicano versus Saint-Denis. Are the hometown Frenchies going to be able to pull it off, or are the fans going to be throwing baguettes? Let's find out. First fight up, Bolaji versus Chris Duncan. Chris Duncan is a striker who gets cracked a bit too much. He's really tough. He has takedowns. He has some really good leg kicks. Is a technical striker. His wrestling and grappling is a question mark, which I feel like will play a factor in this fight because Chris Duncan, I think his way to win is by throwing leg kicks, pressing him against the fence, getting takedowns. So my pick is going to be Chris Duncan by decision. Low confidence. Next fight up, Nora Cornolle versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti. This is a rematch. Cavalcanti is a striker who has a lot of output, not too much power. As the fight goes on, she actually ends up putting more on her shots and starts getting better. But I'd say that this fight will probably go decision, but Cornolle can definitely look to get finished or has a finish in her. Cavalcanti, she should be able to just keep her at distance, just like she did Nunes. Nunes kept walking forward or kept wanting to put the pressure on her, but Cavalcanti just wasn't there, and I feel like it's going to be the same. Cornolle isn't going to be able to land her shots that she wants. She won't be able to keep that same intensity all 3 rounds. Cavalcanti will just be able to jab her up, throw leg kicks, keep her at distance, and just keep moving around the cage. So give me Cavalcanti by decision, low-medium confidence. Next fight up, Daniel Barez versus Victor Altamirano. I'd say both of them are strikers. They have wrestling. Victor, he used his wrestling in the Santos fight. He lost by split decision. Should have won that fight. He had like 9 takedowns, or like 6 takedowns, something like that. He got taken down by Elliott 6 times or something like that as well, though. So I'd say that his wrestling isn't actually that good. He just faced Santos, who doesn't have good wrestling. And I'd say Barras, on the other hand, he has really good striking. He's really fast, good combos. He has power, which a lot of 125ers don't. He hurt Filho in that fight. I feel like Victor Altamirano, he has really good cardio, but he will struggle with the speed, the striking, the wrestling. So I'd say Barez is able to win anywhere except if the pace is too high. Maybe 3rd round he starts slipping, but I'd say Barez is going to be able to beat him on the feet, be quicker than him to the punch, land more powerful strikes, and I'd say that Barez, even if he starts struggling on the feet, which I don't think is happening, even if Barez starts struggling on the feet, I'd say that he can get takedowns because they are pretty explosive, and Altamirano, I feel like that's his weakness in his game, getting taken down. So give me Barez by decision, low-medium confidence. Next fight up, Ailin Perez versus Darya Zheleznyakova. I'd say that Darya, the big thing about her is that she keeps walking forward. She'll keep throwing powerful punches, and she just has that toughness, which is lacked in women's MMA. And I'd say that Ailin Perez has decent striking, but it's probably not as fierce as Darya's. Ailin Perez has a big gap in her wrestling, though. She should be able to take down Darya probably whenever she wants and just keep the fight on the ground. She should be fine on the feet, but I'd say that her way to victory is definitely by takedowns, keeping control, landing ground and pound. So give me Ailin Perez by decision, low-medium confidence. Next fight up, Taylor Lapilus versus Vince Morales. I'd say this is a tricky one. Lapilus should be the favorite. He should be the pick probably for everybody, but Morales is tough. He is on a comeback resurgence in the UFC. He has a lot of finishes. He's been finishing, I think, out of these last 5 wins, he has 4 finishes. Outside of the UFC, he's been looking good. Might have a comeback resurgence, but Lapilus had the same thing. He was in the UFC, got kicked out, came back, is looking good. Farid Bashra is no bad feat. He's good. Cody Stamann win was good, 30-27. I'd say Lapilus is pretty fundamental. He is pretty safe. He kind of reminds me of just a more output William Gomis. And I'd say that the only fault for him is that he doesn't really have wrestling. He doesn't really go for takedowns. He can stuff takedowns pretty well, but I'd say that Morales probably won't go for takedowns. It's going to be a striking matchup, and I think that Lapilus will just be able to out-technique Morales, but I think this one could be closer than the odds have it, and maybe people have it. But give me Lapilus by decision, low-medium confidence. Next fight up, Ludovic Klein versus Roosevelt Roberts. I'd say this is a bad step up, short notice for Roberts. Klein should be able to knock him out in the first round, just like he did AJ Cunningham. I'd say that he's way cleaner. He's way just polished. His striking's better. His wrestling's better. He's more fight IQ. He's just a level above Roberts. Roberts could get cut here after this loss, or maybe one more fight after. The Klein, the Moises win was really good. I'd say that just showed that he was just the level that he's at. Roberts is nowhere near, so give me Klein by first round knockout, high confidence. Next fight up, Oumar Sy versus Dawoon Jung. Say Sy, he is looking like a prospect. He's looking dangerous. He's strong. He sticks to his game plan. He's 10-0, a lot of first round finishes. He likes going for the takedown and landing ground and pound or looking for the submission early. Dawoon Jung, I feel like his wrestling is a question mark. I don't think it's that good. His striking is good. He has power. He has wins in the UFC. He is on a 3-fight skid. Got knocked out, lost by decision to Devin Clark, and got submitted by Carlos Ulberg. But Carlos Ulberg is a good fighter. Sy, I think that the reason why he just has to be the pick is just because he sticks to his game plan of going for the takedown, landing ground and pound, or looking for the submission. And I don't think that Jung is going to be able to stop that. So give me Sy by first round submission, medium confidence. Last fight on the prelims, Ailin Cutelaba versus Ivan Erslan. I'd say that a lot of people are picking Erslan, and I don't really see it just because he isn't that good. I'd say he is a bit gun shy sometimes. He can get lulled into just staying on the outside and looking for that big shot, but never really throws it. He has power for sure, and Cutelaba could get knocked out here, but I'd say that Cutelaba is the way better fighter. He's UFC proven. He has a lot of losses, and recently a lot of losses. Got submitted by Span, submitted by Johnny Walker, knocked out, and then lost by decision. That was a really tough one. You don't really want to put your faith in Cutelaba, but I feel like this is a big step down. This guy, I don't necessarily think he's UFC worthy. He can get some fluke knockout, but I don't really see it. Close odds. I'd say Cutelaba can win on the feet, could knock him out, but I think that he's going to go back to his wrestling in this fight, get a takedown, land ground and pound, and end up knocking out Erslan. So give me Cutelaba by first round knockout, medium confidence. Next fight up, the main card opener, Ziam versus Matt the Steamroller Frevola. I'm really liking Frevola here. I'd say that Frevola is intense. He has knockout ability. He has a lot of first round finishes in the UFC. But the thing is, he's not just a finish or bust fighter. He has takedowns and he has a gas tank and can survive a lot of damage. Ziam isn't that much of a power puncher. He has really good technique. He can keep his distance and just outstrike his opponent. But I'd say the one flaw that he has is his wrestling. It got kind of shown in his last fight against Perez. He got taken down 7 times, held down for like 6 minutes, I believe. Frevola, I think that his main thing at looking at the tape, at least for me, was that Ziam kind of can get pressed against the fence, and I think that Frevola can capitalize in those moments of pressing him against the fence, whether it's landing a knockout blow or landing takedowns. So give me for Matt the Steamroller Frevola by first round knockout, low medium confidence. Next fight up, Morgan Charriere versus Gabriel Miranda. First things first, I feel like the odds are way blown out of proportion. Morgan Charriere is definitely smooth. He's clean. He's a technical striker. He always looks for the finish. He has power. But I feel like Miranda, he's no schlub. He isn't no freaking bum. So I don't know how the odds are like plus 490, I believe, on DraftKings. Miranda, he has a lot of submission wins. He's only won by finish. I think all but one in the first round. He is dangerous. He has takedowns, which kind of doesn't make sense to me because Charriere can get taken down, and Miranda took down Benoit Saint-Denis. He took down Shane Young, which isn't like some crazy guy, but the fact that he took him down and submitted him right away is impressive. He has really good grappling. He has really good submissions. We'll look for any type of submission. He didn't really put Benoit Saint-Denis in any troubles, but he got a takedown. I think that he'll be able to get a takedown. It's a bit of a long shot, but I feel like Miranda will be able to get the takedown and just submit him quick. So I think that Miranda will get a first round submission, but Morgan Charriere can definitely just survive, stuff the takedowns, and then end up finishing Miranda. So I think that this is a close one for sure. I don't know how the odds have it. like they have it, but give me Miranda by first round submission, low confidence. Next fight up, Kevin Jousset versus Bryan Battle. I'd say the only really question marks on Battle is his takedown defense, which I don't think Jousset is going to go for takedowns. And I'd say that Bryan Battle, he gets hit and gets cracked, wobbled a little bit too much in his fights, but he's been getting better each fight. His teep kicks are really good. He keeps his distance really well. He kind of comes out in his fights a little bit differently depending on the opponent. And I think that he'll come out a little bit stronger just because the reach is kind of the same. He has a 2-inch reach advantage. He's 1 inch shorter. But against someone who is shorter reach, shorter fighter, he likes keeping his distance. But since this is not, I'd say that he'll come more. He'll come at him more, throwing heat, landing good teep kicks, and trying to hurt him to the body and working his 1-2s. I'd say that he can work in takedowns, but I don't know if he will use his wrestling just because he likes striking. He's been finding his game more in striking, but he definitely has submission threat. He definitely has the finishing ability, and he has the finishing upside on Jousset, but Kevin Jousset's been looking good himself too. He has a really good jab. He has good kicks. He's coming from city kickboxing. He's been looking better each fight because in his first fight against Crosby, he was actually getting outstruck and then submitted him, and then he pretty much just like 3-1 or 2-1 song. So he's been looking better. He's been getting better hands, and it's not just leg kicks. So it'll be a closer fight, but I'd still favor Bryan Battle here. So give me Bryan Battle by decision, low medium confidence. Next fight up, William Gomis versus Joanderson Brito. I'm really liking Brito here just because he has the finishing upside. He always looks for the finish, and you kind of know what he's going to bring to a fight. William Gomis, on the other hand, he is really technical, but he doesn't have that much output. His wrestling is a question mark, and I'd say that his lack of finish ability and lack of just bringing it to a fighter is what throws me off, and I feel like Brito is just going to keep walking forward. He'll keep trying to land that big shot, and Gomis, he can evade these shots, but I feel like if Brito is coming at him trying to land these big shots, it will pressure Gomis into going against the fence, and Brito will not be scared to go for a takedown, and his grappling game is really good. He's really dangerous just anywhere. He's always looking for the finish. He kind of reminds me of Diego Lopez, and ironically, they went to decision when both of them are finishers. But Joanderson Brito won by decision. I think that he'll be able to land the better blows in this fight, and if he starts not looking so well on the feet, or he's not finding so much success, then he'll just go for a takedown. And I think that he'll find the submission. So give me Joanderson Brito by first round submission, medium confidence. Next up, the co-main event, Nassourdine Imavov versus Brendan Allen. I'm really liking this matchup. I'm a big fan of Brendan Allen. He is like 12-3 in the UFC, hasn't lost in a long time. Imavov, on the other hand, came off a knockout victory against Cannonier. Early stoppage, but nonetheless, he was looking good against Cannonier. He was probably 2-2 going into after the fourth. The elite say he absolutely destroyed him. I don't know how it was a majority. He was beating Chris Curtis pretty bad. He has wrestling, and I'd say that the thing is here, the Brendan Allen on the feet, he's not crazy technical, and he's not going to be outstriking anybody really bad, and that kind of got shown against Chris Curtis in the rematch. I'd say he was able to get the takedowns, which won him the fight, and I don't really think that he'll be able to get the takedowns against Imavov, just because his wrestling is really good and his striking is really good. So if this fight is a striking matchup, I'm really liking Imavov here. I think that Imavov can definitely even work in takedowns of his own, but I don't really see why he'd want to do that because Allen is sneaky good on the ground. Not even sneaky good. He has good submission game. I think he can submit a lot of people in this division, and he has. But give me Imavov to win on the feet, a comfortable decision. So Imavov by decision, medium confidence. Next up, the main event, Renato Moicano versus Benoit Saint-Denis. I'd say that Saint-Denis, he got checked by Poirier, but I feel like that was pretty easy to call. I don't know how a lot of people were picking Saint-Denis over Poirier, but that's not the fight. I'd say Moicano, he is good on the ground. He has takedowns, but I think that the intensity is just too much. Saint-Denis, he brings that power, he brings that intensity. He keeps moving forward, and that could end up costing him in the later rounds by him just gassing out. Moicano could definitely win by decision, now winning like the third, fourth, and fifth, or looking for a submission in the third, fourth, or fifth. But I think that the power, the intensity, and just the will to win is too much. I think Saint-Denis, he has this aura that he's just going to go in there and try to finish you. And he even found success against Dustin. And I'd say that Moicano getting hurt by Jalen Turner and then ended up getting the KO victory. He was in trouble against Drew Dober, had to get his takedowns. But the problem is, I'd say that Dober was kind of just laying there and accepting those positions when Saint-Denis, I think that he's going to be scrambling for something better. Obviously, it could get him caught into something, but I think that Saint-Denis is stronger than him. He is younger than him. Moicano is 35. You got to kind of put that into account. He has a lot of fight years on him. I think that Benoit Saint-Denis is just going to be too much in Moicano's face. He's going to be pressuring him. I don't know if he'll go for takedowns, but I think that he'll just be throwing madness on the feet, get Moicano in trouble, stuff takedowns if he needs be. But I think that he's going to end up finding the first round knockout on Moicano. So give me Saint-Denis, first round knockout, medium confidence. Reviewing my picks from most confident to least confident, top to bottom, left to right. Klein being my number 1, Benoit Saint-Denis 2, Brito, Cutelaba, Nazardine, and Sai. All 6 of them are going to be my most confident picks. I think a lot of them are parlayable. I think Cutelaba is better to just money line. Nazardine is a bit risky. Sai is also a bit risky, but I feel like Brito, Klein, and Benoit are locks for sure. And my funky pick of the week is between Frevola and Barez. But I'm going to be favoring the Steamroller just because he has a finishing ability. He has the intensity, can win a decision as well by using his grappling and wrestling. So give me Frevola as my funky pick of the week. That's going to be my UFC Fight Night in Paris quick picks breakdown. Moicano versus Saint-Denis. Thanks for watching.